Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim sarasatim vyasam tato jayamudirayet. Nashtapayesha vadesho nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naistikim. Ete chamsa kala pumsam krishnastu bhagavan sayam indriyar vyakalam lokam ridyante yuge yuge. Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranama dukkha samanastam namami haram param. Nigama kalpa taror galitam palam sukhamakadam ritadivasam mutam vibhadavakatam rasamalayam muhurahorasikabu vibhavukaham. So we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 9th canto, 10th chapter, text numbers 52 and 53. 52 does not have any purport, so I will just read the Sanskrit and the translation, and then we will read together text number 53. Vanani nyadugirayo vashani dvipasindava sarve kamaduka asan prajanam bharatarshava. Translation. O Parikshit Maharaj, best of the Bharat dynasty, during the reign of Lord Ramachandra, the forests, the rivers, the hills and mountains, the states, the 7 islands, and the 7 seas were all favorable in supplying the necessities of life for all living beings. Text number 53. Nadhi vyadi jaraglani Dukkha shoka bhayaklama Mrityushani chatam nasid Rame rajanya doksaje Na, not adhi, adhyatmik, adhibhautik, and adhidhaivik sufferings. That is suffering from the body and mind, from other living entities, and from nature. Vyadhi, diseases. Jara, old age. Glani, bereavement. Dukkha, grief. Shoka, lamentation. Bhaya, fear. Klamaha, and fatigue. Mrityu, death. Cha, also. Anichatam, of those who did not like it. Na asit, there was not. Rame, during the rule of Lord Ramachandra. Rajani, because of his being the king. Adhoksaje, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is beyond this material world. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Translation. When Lord Ramachandra, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, was the king of this world, all bodily and mental suffering, disease, old age, bereavement, lamentation, distress, fear and fatigue were completely absent. There was even no death for those who did not want it. Purport. All these facilities existed because of Lord Ramachandra's presence as the king of the entire world. A similar situation could be introduced and immediately, even in this age called Kali, the worst of all ages. It is said, Kali Kali Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar. Krishna descends in this Kali Yuga in the form of his holy name, Hare Krishna Hare Ram. If we chant offenselessly, Ram and Krishna are still present in this age. The kingdom of Ram was immensely popular and beneficial, and the spreading of this Hare Krishna movement can immediately introduce a similar situation even in this Kali Yuga. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakasodanmiritam Yanam Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhispam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Sayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam. Bandeham Sri Guru Sri Yata Padakamalan Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarajatam Sahagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude. Jatam Sarato Pangor Mama Mandamate Ragati Mat Sarvasa Balambojo Radha Maradamo Hano Dibba Vindarana Kalpadramado Srimad Ratnagara Simhasanasto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Pristhali Viseva Manusmarami Shimamra Sarasarambi Vamseva Dadada Stita Kashan Vinosanai Gopir Gopinata Siestu Naham Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavane Shari Vrishabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Govinda Nandini Radha Govinda Mohini Govinda Sarvasva Sarva Shanti Krumani Devi Krishna Maya Prokta Radhika Paradevataha Sarva Lakshmi Maya Sarva Kanta Shiromani Tavai Vasmi Najimami Tayana Ittivigana Devi Tam Nayamam Charantikam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha Paritanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shivajari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Ramo 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 Hare Hare. Hare Nama Eva Kevalam Kolam Nastyeva Katyaranyata. Jayati Namanandarupam Murare Viramira Nijadharma Dhyana Pujadiyatam Kathamapi Sakridatam Muktinam Paramamritam Ekanam Jivanam Bhushanam Me. So in this 9th canto, the wonderful pastimes of Lord Ramachandra, Maryada Purushottam, are described. So Sukadeva Goswami is speaking to Parikshit Maharaj. So in text 52, he's addressing him, O best of the Bharata dynasty. As we know, Parikshit Maharaj, so he was the emperor of this world, and by the will of providence, which he accepted, he had to give up his body within 7 days. So he quickly gave up everything and went to the bank of the holy Ganges river. And then, by the will of providence, by the Lord's arrangement, Sukadeva Goswami came and he spoke to enlighten Parikshit Maharaj. And many other great personalities came, and they all listened with rapt attention to Sukadeva Goswami. Listened from him about the personalities of Godhead. So one of them, Lord Ramachandra, and then of course in the 10th canto he was reciting or he was explaining about the wonderful pastimes of Swayam Bhagavan, the original personality of Godhead, Krishna. So Ramachandra is addressed as Purushottam, the greatest of the personalities. Uttam Purush, Adi Purush, Mahapurush. And basically there are three addressed as Purushottam, Lila Purushottam, Bhagavan Sri Krishna, Maryada Purushottam, Ramchandra Bhagavan, and then Prem Purushottam, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So here is addressing the best of the Bharat dynasty, Parikshit Maharaj, who was the son of great warrior and good friend of course, the friend of Krishna was Arjuna, and then his son was Abhimanyu, and his good wife was Uttara, and so she was the mother of Parikshit Maharaj. So after the battlefield in Kurukshetra, so most of the great warriors had left their bodies, and then finally also Yudhishthira Maharaj and his 4 brothers, one by one, they gave up their bodies. And of course, Abhimanyu already had left during the war, and he was only 16 years old. But his wife was present at that time, and Parikshit was in the womb. And then he was protected by Krishna himself, as Ashwatthama was trying to kill him as he was in the womb. So therefore he is addressed as the best of the Bharata dynasty. He was already at the time of his appearance, so the Pandavas were there, and they called great astrologers, and they all told about that he will be a great devotee and a great emperor, so which he was. But then by the will of the Lord, by the will of providence, so he had to give up his body. So he's speaking to him just before he left, just a few days before he left. And he was not drinking any water, he was not eating, he was simply listening to these wonderful descriptions about the Supreme Lord, about the different incarnations. So here specifically it is mentioned about Lord Ramachandra, and during his reign, during the time when he was the emperor, then everything was very auspicious, as explained in text 52. The forests, the rivers, the hills and the mountains they were giving all necessities for the living beings, whatever is required. So if one is abiding by the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not transgressing the laws of nature, then Mother Nature, Prakriti Devi, Bhudevi, who is a devotee of the Lord also, then she will supply everything. Therefore sometimes she is addressed as Mother Nature, Mother Earth. So she's one of the 7 mothers as explained in the scriptures. So the mother will supply everything which the child needs. So, but for that the child has to be obedient to what the mother says. He has to follow the advice of the mother, the instructions of the father also. So the Supreme Father is Krishna, or Ramchandra, the Supreme Lord. And of course his eternal consort is there. For Ramchandra Bhagavan, Sita Devi, for Vishnu, Lakshmi Devi, and for Krishna, Shrimati Radharani, Mool Shakti, the original goddess of fortune, Shrimati Radharani. So if Krishna is satisfied, then everyone is satisfied. And even if the energy is satisfied, Lakshmi Devi or Shrimati Radharani, then the Supreme Lord will be satisfied too. Because the energy, Lakshmi Devi or Radharani, so she will, she's the Ashai Vigraha, she's the body of love, and she will tell how to serve Vishai Vigraha, the object of the love. Krishna is Prananath, but under the shelter of Shrimati Radharani we can serve Krishna. Under the shelter of Sita Devi we can serve Ramchandra Bhagavan. Under the shelter of Lakshmi Devi we can serve Vishnu. But of course, first we have to take shelter of Sri Guru, the spiritual master, who is the representative of Krishna, is a representative of Shrimati Radharani. And in the age of Kali we should take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Because in the age of Kali everyone is very fallen, and we need the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore in the 11th canto, Karabhajan Muni, he was explaining to Maharaj Nimi, another great king. So there were 9 Yogendras, the sons of Bharad Maharaj. And there were sannyasis, yogis, pure devotees. So they instructed great king Nimi, and so on. All of them, they gave instructions. And Karabhajan Muni, one of them, so he told about the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and specifically Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Krishna Vanam Tisa Krishnam Sangapangasapa Sadam Yagya Sankitapaya Jantameda Saha. That in the age of Kali, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is no different from Krishna, who is always Krishna Varnam, saying Krishna's name, uttering Krishna's name. And he has come with his associates. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Jiva Goswami, they have explained Kali Yuga Bhajanam. So we should worship that Kali Yuga Avatar Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And those who are intelligent, they will worship Mahaprabhu. And then Karabhajan Muni is explaining in the next verses, Dhyayam sadabhabhishtadaham tirtas param shivavininchanatam sananyam brittatyaham parvaptipotam vande maha purushate charanaravindam. That we should worship that Mahapurush, Vande Namaste. That refers to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and also Krishna and Ramchandra Bhagavan. That has been explained in the Tika, in a purport by the previous acharyas, like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and others, Sanat Goswami, they have explained that Purushottam, Vande Mahapurushate Charanaravinda, that refers to the 3 of them, Purushottam, Maryada Purushottam, Lila Purushottam, and Prem Purushottam. Deyam Sadabhabishtadoham. Dhyayam sada, always you should remember, and by doing that, abhishtadoham, we will get all our desires will be fulfilled, spiritual, and even if we have some material desires, some material needs, that will be fulfilled. And all difficulties are removed. And therefore, Shiva Virinchanatam Saranyam, therefore Lord Shiva, Virinchi, Lord Brahma are taking shelter of the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, Krishna and Ramchandra. And then, if you take shelter of the lotus feet are compared to a boat. And by being situated at the lotus feet of the Lord, by remembering the lotus feet of the Lord, we can cross over this material existence, Bhav Sagar, the ocean of material existence, and then becomes insignificant. Tyaktva asurepsita raja lakshim dharmishta ayacharvadaranyam ipsadam vadadham mayamirigam ipsitan vadavad vande mahapurushate charanaravindam. And in the next verse is explaining that that refers to again these three Purushottams. Tyaktva surushacharusarebshada raja lakshmim. That Tyaktva, they gave up. And that we can see Raja Lakshmi and Lakshmi Devi. All of them, ultimately Krishna, so he left Srimati Radha and the gopis and went to Mathura. And then to Dwarka. And then Ramchandra Bhagavan, so at one point he left Sita Devi, as we know. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu entered the sannyas ashram and left Vishnu Priya for the purpose of spreading Krishna consciousness. So the whole rest is Purushottam. And if you take shelter of Purushottam, that whatever is required will be supplied. But of course, the personalities of Godhead, externally they may live their eternal consorts, that is only the pastime, but actually they are always together. They are never separated. Krishna and Srimati Radharani, Sita and Rachma, Sita Devi and Ramchandra, and Mahaprabhu and his eternal energies are there. So, Vishnu Priya and Lakshmi Priya. In the spiritual realm, they are permanently performing the pastimes there, but they come to this world to perform the pastimes to attract the fallen conditioned souls. And then, for the purpose of teaching us, they perform their pastimes here, as here Ramchandra Bhagavan. So but if one is fixed at the lotus seat of the personality of Godhead, then everything is supplied by Bhudevi or material nature, whatever is required. And then in the text 53, so na adi. Na means not, adi, so that refers to the three klesha, adibhautik, adidevik, adhyatmik klesh. These are the difficulties arising from the body and mind, adhyatmik. And especially we have to try to control the mind. Being fully engaged with body, mind and words in the service of the Lord, then we can transcend these difficulties. And especially we have to take care of the mind. Therefore Raghunath Das Goswami, he gave a book, Manashiksha, instructions to the mind for our benefit, that we should remember Guru, Gauranga and Krishna and take shelter of them, instructing his mind, instructing actually us, because he's a liberated soul. But he came here also for the benefit of the conditioned souls. And even Krishna says in the Bhagavad-Gita, if the mind is controlled, then the super soul is reached. So the mind can be the best friend if it's controlled, otherwise it's the worst enemy. So we have to strenuously try to control the mind by being fully engaged with body, mind and words in Krishna consciousness. Then by the mercy of the Lord, the mind can be controlled. And then we can tolerate, first of all, the difficulties of the own mind and body. So even sometimes you may see that if one is fully absorbed, the difficulties are there and the mind will be disturbed. But then we have to continue, and then we can overcome the difficulty of the mind. So the mind is a material element, but we are beyond, we should be beyond. Our spiritual nature is there, just like Krishna, Satchidananda Sarup, Mame Vamsa Jivaloke Jivubhuta Sanatana. But Krishna is Vibhu, is great, and we are Anu, we are small. But we are part and parcels of Krishna. So we have to come to the transcendental stage. And then we can tolerate. We try to control the mind, which is not easy and possible only by the mercy of the Lord. But then we have to tolerate our mind and physical difficulties which are always there. And then difficulties from other living entities which are coming and going, and we can see mosquitoes are there sometimes biting, and sometimes monkeys are taking the glasses or taking the fruits, and dogs sometimes are barking, so that we have to tolerate. And sometimes other human beings may try to disturb us, or so many difficulties are there from other living beings, adibhotik, and then adidaivik. Severe cold, now it is quite cold. So difficulty is there. Or too much rain, too much heat. So if the mind is controlled, if we are engaged in Krishna consciousness, then we can tolerate. But difficulties will be there, because that is the nature of this material world. But if we take shelter of Krishna, we can overcome the difficulties, and whatever is necessary for His service, that will be supplied. Whatever we need, that will be supplied, even without asking, just like the father and mother. They give the child, the small child, whatever he needs, he doesn't have to ask. He's not interested many times in eating and wearing proper clothes, but the parents, they know, and they will give. So similarly, whatever we need, we will get. We don't even have to ask for. So the three full miseries, adi, they can be tolerated. And then vyadi, disease, so which is, of course, yadhyatmic. Diseases are coming and going, and we have to tolerate. And then jara, that is unavoidable. One who has taken birth, so he will grow old. Jara, that is for everyone. Of course, when one is young, it is difficult to understand old age. One may see other people getting old, but one is not so concerned. But if one is getting old, then one will experience, and one has to tolerate. One is not able to see well anymore. One cannot hear anymore properly. Maybe we need glasses or lenses, hearing aid. One cannot run anymore, so it becomes difficult. Digestion is weak. But somehow or the other we have to be connected to Krishna, trying one's best according to the situation, to engage somehow in the devotional service of the Lord, to the best of our ability, and then Krishna will reciprocate. And then so dukkha, shoka, grief, lamentation, bhaya, fear, klama, fatigue. So these are there in the material world, unavoidable. Even for the devotees, it doesn't mean that they are completely free from that, but they can tolerate. And so there's dukkha and some unhappiness is there. But if we keep Krishna in the center, then we can overcome. And then there's one also, we should understand that ultimately these different emotions which are there, they are perverted emotions from the spiritual emotions. As it is explained in the Bhakti-rasamrita Sindhu by Rupa Goswami, that the different emotions are there even for the devotees in the advanced stage, bhavavasta, and the pure devotees in the spiritual realm. We can hear that Radharani, sometimes she's unhappy, sometimes she's sad, she's lamenting, she's grieving in the pastime with Krishna. When Krishna goes to see Chandravali, then Radharani, she becomes angry, she becomes unhappy, she becomes sad. So, but Krishna is in the center, and the underlying principle is love for Krishna, which is deep as the ocean. And these different emotions, they are known as Vyabhichari Bhav or Sanchari Bhav, they are coming and going. But Krishna is in the center, so they are transcendental, they are pure. So Radharani's anger is pure. Radharani's pride, sometimes she becomes proud, as after Ras Leela Sharad Purnima, when she left, because so many gopis were there, she was not so satisfied. I want to be alone with Krishna and only my friends should be there. But the Vipaksha gopis were there from the opposing party, rival party, and new gopis who just had joined, who had become perfect. They had joined the Rasa Leela. So she left the Rasa dance, and when Radharani is not there, then Krishna doesn't feel so much pleasure, and he also left. And he went to see Radharani, and she became proud. But that is transcendental pride. And then he left her. And then they were all coming also, and they saw Radharani, and all together then they were lamenting. And then it is described in the Gopi Gita, how they were then lamenting and searching for Krishna. And then Krishna was joking with them also. And at one point he manifested, he was there, manifested form. And then the gopis, they offer pranam, Vishnu, where is Srimati Radharani, have you seen? Where is Krishna, have you seen? And then Krishna said, no, I have not seen. And they were looking here and there. But when Radharani came, he could not hold his two extra arms. And so because everything is included in Krishna, Chaturbhuj Roop, Nishingadev, Vamanadev, so he could not hold. So these transcendental emotions are there. Krishna is in the center, and love for Krishna is there. Despite any difficulties, they are always loving Krishna. Still, although Krishna goes to see Radharani, sees to see Chandravali, Radharani loves Krishna, she can never give up Krishna. So all these emotions are there in the spiritual realm. But then in this material world, the perverted reflection is there, and those jivas, bada jivas, the conditioned souls, who are bahirmukh, who are not inclined towards serving Krishna, they have these emotions which are material because Krishna is not there. So therefore as sadhakas, so even if these emotions are there, we should not worry. If sometimes anger is there, sadness is there, but we have to keep Krishna in the center. And of course, we have to try to control the emotions, especially when they are not transcendental. When we are not transcendentally situated, we should not become too angry. If one devotee is is doing something which we not like, so then we should not become angry. We should control. Anyhow, so we have to see time, place, and circumstances. But basically, if we are surrendering to Krishna, if we actually surrender to Krishna, then we will be guided by Krishna, and then everything will be fine. So we have to try to be fully surrendered. Of course, in the conditioned state, if one is under the modes of material nature, we cannot completely surrender. But we should try to surrender. Try to think about Krishna always. Try to always speak about Krishna, hear about Krishna, serve Krishna. And then Krishna will reciprocate, he will help us. And then in purified state, then on the transcendental plane, then we are fully guided by Krishna. And there is a loving exchange there. And there is no material inebriety there. No material consciousness is there. And then the last point here is mentioned that mrityus cha anichatam. Mrityus cha. And that also. Ichatam means to have a desire. And so nichatam means not to desire to die. Anichatam. So of those who did not like it, Prabhupada is translating, of those who did not like it, those who did not want to die. So there was even no death for those who did not want it. So that is for those who are transcendently situated. They don't even have to think about it. When they are transcendently situated, they are serving Krishna, and they know we are eternal. We will never die. It is only the body. When the body is old, it's just like a machine. When you have old cloth, the cloth are old, so you throw them away, or give to some beggar who will still use them a little while more. Or you used to clean something, or you may burn, whatever. So, or the car, if one has a car, the car is old, you just give it up very easily. Similarly, the pure devotee is not attached to the body. The body is getting old, and then he can give up the body very easily. He knows, I'm not this body. So for him, there is no death. He doesn't want to die, and he's not dying. He's just giving up the body, and he's ready to go wherever Krishna wants him to put. And there he will continue to serve. So, of course, the aim is to enter the pastimes of Krishna. Nitya Lila Pravesh. Nitya Lila. Nitya Lila refers to the eternal pastimes of the Lord. And Naimittika Lila, the pastimes of the Lord in this world. So the pure devotees, sometimes it is said, Nitya Lila Pravesh Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa, and so on. But we should understand that the pure devotees, they have come from the spiritual world here in order to preach Krishna consciousness, just like Krishna comes. So Krishna is coming and is never affected. The pure devotees are coming, they are never affected by this material world. But it doesn't mean that Krishna is not there in Golok. When Krishna came 5,000 years ago, he was still there in Golok. Always is there, performing his eternal pastimes. In his Kishora Avasta, 14 years and some months and some days old, eternally, with Srimati Radharani and all their associates, Mother Yashoda, they're there always in the spiritual realm. But when Krishna comes here for the benefit of the fallen conditioned souls, so he's coming here, but it doesn't mean he's not there. But then he's coming here and assuming a form of a baby, and then growing up, and then all the associates are also coming. So similarly, the pure devotees, when they come here to preach the eternal associates, it doesn't mean they're not there, they're there in the eternal realm, always. In Gaur-lila and Krishna-lila, but they come here also to spread Krishna consciousness. So that is the position of the acharyas. But those conditioned souls who have come here being forced, because they are from the Nitya Bhara platform, eternally conditioned, but still the eternal sons of Krishna also, but not serving, like those in the Brahma Jyoti. So they come here when this material world is manifested. And then, by the mercy of the Lord, if they come in contact with the pure devotee, with the association of the pure devotee, they can become free. And then Nitya Lila Pravesh, then they can enter the eternal pastimes. And then they will never be conditioned anymore. So that is actually the goal, to enter the pastimes of Krishna. But as explained by the acharyas, by Prabhupada himself and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and others, so first we have to, when we become perfect, then we can go where Krishna performs his pastimes in one of the universes. Because in one universe, Krishna is always there, performing his pastimes. And there we will go there, and then we can serve Krishna, and then we will not take birth again. And automatically we'll be there when we have the eternal age is there. So, whatever the form is there, then we'll be there in the pastimes, in the spiritual realm, and then there is no more death and no more birth. But still we may come when Krishna is here, and then assist in the pastimes, but we'll be liberated state. So that is the meaning of here. Mrityus chani chatam. So there was not even death for those who did not want it. And so therefore even it is explained, the pure devotee is a great soul. They can give up the body whenever they want, ultimately. But usually they will give up the body when Krishna wants, like Srila Prabhupada. So at one point he was saying, I don't know what Krishna wants me to do, if he wants me to stay here, if he wants me to go. For a little while, he was not sure what Krishna wanted. But then he understood Krishna wanted him to leave this place, this world, and wanted him to go somewhere else. And then he was ready. But just like even Bhishma Dev, so he wanted to give up the body in front of the Supreme Lord, and he wanted to give up his body in an auspicious time. So he was waiting for the sun to enter the Uttarayan, the northern hemisphere, and then he gave up his body and having darshan of the Supreme Lord. Even Haridas Thakur, he was much older than Mahaprabhu, and he was thinking, and he knew that Mahaprabhu was not going to stay so much longer. As we know, he was 48 years in this world and then he left. And he wanted to give up his body, so that was not long before Mahaprabhu left. He knew Mahaprabhu is also going to soon give up his body. So I want to give up my body before that. And I want to give up my body taking darshan of the beautiful lotus face of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by his will he was able to give up his body, having darshan of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Supreme Lord is mercifully then granting the desire of the Supreme Lord. So the Supreme Lord is granting the desire of, fulfilling the desire of the pure devotees. So the desire of the pure devotee is Krishna's desire. So the pure devotee wants to do what Krishna wants. He's doing what Krishna wants. Anukulina Krishna Anushilanam Bhakti Rutamam. But at the same time, if he has some desire, some wish, then Krishna will fulfill that desire. That is a loving reciprocation between Krishna and Krishna's devotee. Wonderful loving exchange. So that is referring to those who are transcendently situated. They can give up their body whenever they want, or when Krishna wants. But if they have some special desire to stay a little longer, they can stay longer. Or if they are not satisfied with the situation, they may give up the body earlier. Like even it is said that Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, he was disappointed with many of his leading disciples, how they were even fighting for possession of the different mats, different temples. So he was to some extent disappointed, and therefore it is said that he prematurely left this world. And Krishna, so Mahaprabhu, they accepted. And even Govinda Maharaj, so apparently he could have stayed longer. So sometimes they may want to live earlier, and they may live earlier, or they want to stay longer, and they can stay longer by their will, and by the Lord's will ultimately. So that is a loving reciprocation between the pure devotee and the Lord. The pure devotee is doing what Krishna wants, but sometimes Krishna is doing what the pure devotee wants also. So Prabhupada here is explaining in the purport about Ramachandra's in his presence. So all these facilities were there. So that was in Treta Yuga. The persons at that time, they were more qualified. But then Prabhupada is mentioning a similar situation could be introduced immediately, even in this age called Kali. It could be introduced. It is not there now, because people are very full in the age of Kali. Kola Shudra Sambhavaja, just like Shudras in the age of Kali, because the samskars, purificatory rites, are not performed properly. So the situation is like that in the age of Kali. The environment is not conducive. It's tamasic mostly, rajasic. And in the age of Kali, people, they cannot live long time, only up to 100 years or a little more or a little less. And the memory is not very good. The intelligence is not sharp. So the worst of all ages, Prabhupada is writing here. But a similar situation could be introduced if one is taking up to Krishna, if one is taking up Krishna consciousness, then the similar situation can be had, just like when Ramachandra was there. Actually, by the mercy of Mahaprabhu, so most wonderful situation can be produced immediately if one is taking up Krishna consciousness under the guidance of the pure devotee. Kali Kali Nam Rup Krishna Avatar. So Krishna descends in the age of Kali in the form of his holy name, Krishna Nam, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram. So by chanting purely Krishna's names, the Maha Mantra, then Krishna is there. And Srimati Radharani is there. All the associates are there. Mahaprabhu is there. Sichetan Mukut Kirna Hare Krishna Itivarakaha Majantega Vijayata Tadavayaha. So the Maha Mantra emanated from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's lotus mouth and inundated this whole world. So if one is taking up Krishna consciousness, then a similar situation can be attained. And actually the highest situation, because Ramachandra's time, so they had love for Ramachandra, but that is Vaikuntha Bhav, Aishwarya Bhav, which is there. They have pure love for Ramachandra, and the loving exchange is there, but there's some Aishwarya is there. Aishwarya Yug Prem. And that Krishna is Bhagavan, and we are the servants of Bhagavan. Now, Ramchandra is Bhagavan, we are the servants of Ramchandra. So the relationship is wonderful. But in Braj, with Krishna, it is more sweet. It is more intimate. They're forgetting that Krishna is Bhagavan. Krishna is our beloved, He's our son, He's our best friend. Very intimate relationship is there, most sweet relationship is there. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came to give this Braj Bhav. He came to give the Maha Mantra and Braj Bhav. And also in relation to Mahaprabhu, is not different from Radha and Krishna, residing eternally in Shetadip Navadvip and Krishna Loka. So the highest realm is Krishna Loka, divided in four. Dwarkapuri is there, where Dwarkarish is eternally situated. Mathura Puri, where Mathuresh, Krishna is eternally situated, and at the same time in Braj Vrindavan, Yashodananda and Gopinath is eternally situated. And the fourth abode there in Krishna Loka is Svetadip Navadvip, where Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is eternally residing. And there is a loving exchange. Also there they are not aware that Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord. And have that same mood as in Braj. And usually the associates of Krishna, they are also the associates of Mahaprabhu. Like Lalita Vishakar, Swarup Damodar, Rai Ramananda Roy, Yashodama, Satyamata, Nanda Baba, Jagannath Mishra. They are there in Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila. Two Swarups are there. So most of the Acharyas, they have two Swarup, one in Gaur Lila and one in Krishna Lila. So it is also possible for us to enter in Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila simultaneously. So we are most fortunate that only 500 years ago, 533 years ago, Mahaprabhu came, and we have the golden opportunity to come to this highest platform, Uttam Bhakti, and enter the highest realm. So even in Krishna Loka, the highest realm is Golok, is Braj Vrindavan, higher than Mathura and Dwarka. Dwarka is perfect, Mathura is more perfect. And most perfect is Braj Vrindavan, Golok Vrindavan. And similarly, most perfect is Svetadip Navadvip, which is not different from Golok. But of course it is different also. Achinta Beda Beda Tattva. It is simultaneously one and different from Golok. And Mahaprabhu is simultaneously one and different from Krishna. So we have the opportunity to, if we chant offensively, so that is required. We have to chant Shuddhanam. And then everything is revealed. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So we have to try to avoid the 10 offenses towards the holy name. And then we come to the clearing stage. And then slowly but surely, So all anarthas, all unwanted things are destroyed from the heart. 4 kinds of anarthas. Asat Trishna, being attracted to this material world, which is impermanent, asat. So we should give that up. We should only try to become attracted to Krishna by serving Krishna. Hridaya Daurbalyam. But then even as we're trying to serve Krishna, sometimes temptations are there and one gets diverted. But we have to be strong. And then we have to pray to Guru Gauranga and Krishna to give us the strength that we can remain strong and give up all weakness of the heart, of the mind, of the consciousness, of the intelligence. And then the aparad, we should avoid all kinds of aparad. Nama parad, seva parad, dhamma parad or Vaishnava parad. Otherwise we will not be able to come to the next stage of nama bhas, chanting offenselessly. We cannot come to the stage of nishtha and ruchi where we get a taste for chanting the holy names. So we should try to avoid this. And then there's also Sarup Brahma. So the not knowing, actually being illusioned about the actual Sarup of Krishna and the devotional service. And what is pure devotional service? That we should know. And we should know that we should try to approach Brajendra Nandan Shamasundar with Braj Bhav, following the eternal associates of Krishna in Braj, which is known as Raganuga Bhakti. If we don't perform Raganuga Bhakti, we cannot enter into Golok and serve Krishna there, enter the pastimes of Krishna. Then we will go to Mathura, Dwarka. So if we're not knowing this, that is Sarup Brahma, not knowing the actual proper performance of devotional service, so we can realize the actual form of Krishna and understand the difference, the simultaneous difference between Krishna in Braj and Krishna in Mathura and Dwarka. They're simultaneously one, but they are different. Krishna is Mool Roop, Adi Purush, everything is emanating from him. So they're not different from him, but they are different also. And Krishna is in Braj with his associates, and Dwarka at the same time is in Dwarka with his associates. So if you want to go to Braj, to Golok, then we have to follow the Brij Basis. If you have this parental affection, we follow Maria Yashoda Nanda Baba. Prabhupada is explained in Krishna book, and then in the Damodar Leela and the 10th canto, he has translated up to there. Brahma Vimohan Leela also is there. He has explained those who want to attain that position of becoming a mother, or like the mother of Mother Yashoda, they should carefully see how Maria Yashoda was serving Krishna, in which mood she was serving Krishna, how she was serving Krishna. By contemplating that, then the consciousness will be purified and our transcendental nature, our transcendental form will be revealed. And when that is revealed, that is known as Sarup Siddhi or Sarup Gat. And then we can enter the pastimes of Krishna, not before. Prabhupada in the purport to the Bhagavad-Gita, in the introduction, which is very long, 40 pages, but very important, but even there, quite at the beginning, is explaining about the 5 relationships. And is explaining about Sarup Gat or Sarup Siddhi, and Vastu Gat and Vastu Siddhi. So that first we realize our Sarup Siddhi or Sarup Gat. And after that, when we realize our form, then after giving up the body, we can enter the pastimes. We'll have to take one more time birth from a womb of a gopi in Prakat Leela, in one of the universes. Then we will be in the association with the Nitya Siddha Parikar, and then we can enter the pastimes of Krishna, and then we will never come back to this material world. So that is ultimately the goal. So, but first of all, we have to chant offenselessly, and then in the association of the advanced devotees, when the consciousness is clearing and we are free from these anarthas, from these inebrities, then we can come. Then we are firmly fixed in nishtha, firmly fixed in transcendental knowledge. With Sambandha Gyan, then, with the knowledge of the realization, we should chant the holy names, we should serve. Prabhupada has also explained, Navavida Bhakti, up to Dasyam, that is known as Vaidhi Bhakti. And we should serve in that mood, that I am the eternal servant of Krishna. That is Sambandha Gyan. That is our relationship. And by doing that always, then we come to Abhideya Gyan, where we can actually practically engage in the relationship with Krishna, loving exchange, when the heart is cleared. And then, the Nishtha and Ruchi will be there. Transcendental taste will be there in chanting the holy names, in serving the deities, serving the Vaishnavas. And loving exchange is there with Krishna. It will manifest more and more in a personal exchange with Krishna. And then we can understand Sakyam, that Krishna is my best friend, is the Lord of my life. And then we can actually fully surrender Atmanivedanam on that platform, and that is known as Ragamag, the spontaneous platform. But always we have to follow the rules and regulations. In the beginning there's no spontaneous love, there's no proper understanding, but by following Vaidhi Bhakti in the association of the advanced devotees, then everything will be revealed, and when the consciousness is purified, especially by chanting Hare Krishna and serving the deities and serving the spiritual master, then we come to the spontaneous platform. And then from there we can come to the Bhavavasta, when one is completely attached to Krishna Sakti and completely detached from this material world. And in Bhavavasta the transcendental emotions are coming, not from the consciousness, from the soul. All these emotions are there, loving emotions. With love one will serve Krishna, and the reciprocation is then real there with Krishna. And then transcendental sadness may be there, or transcendental illusion, transcendental anger, but in loving exchange with Krishna. But the underlying principle is loving Krishna. And usually it is with transcendental bliss that the loving exchange is there. Anandam Buddhivadanam, which is ever increasing. And these different emotions which are there, sometimes feeling separation, that will only enhance then the loving sentiments towards Krishna. They will enhance the love towards Krishna, and that is ever increasing. And the stage of bhav is known as premankur. It is the sprouting of pure love. But pure love in the fully manifested, that is only there when we enter the Krishna Lila. Even if we realize our swarup, but the pure love will be there, but it is not fully blossomed. It is only sprouting. But when we are there in Krishna Lila, then the pure love will be fully manifested, blossoming, and the loving exchange will be complete. So that is the goal of life, and that it can be attained simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Any question? There's no prasad, so we are doing okay, right? Prasad only after 11, or in the temple it will be 1 o'clock prasad. Yes. Why we observe the solar eclipse and lunar eclipse? Yes. Right. Krishna is not affected. Yes, that is true. Yes. We have to see time, place, and circumstances. So Krishna is completely transcendental, and the devotees are transcendental. And the seva to the deities, that is known as Nitya Seva. It is according to the eternal pastimes of Krishna. Just like when we wake up the deities, do you know? When we wake up the deities, you know? When we wake up the deities? 20 to 4. Actually 3:36. Because according to Nitya Lila, at that time, Vrindadevi is trying to wake up Radha Krishna. First she's sending some parrots, Sukansari. They have the names also, Dadi, Daksha. The male one is known as Daksha, expert at waking up, trying to glorify Krishna. And the female parrot, Shobha Manjubhashini, speaking very sweetly, trying to wake up the divine couple. But Radharani is saying, be quiet, I want to take more rest. They were up till 1 o'clock doing Ras Lila and whatever. So because of, according to Nitya Lila, the seva is to some extent, it is there according to Nitya Lila. Krishna is there in his Archa Vigraha is not different from Krishna in Braj. But the seva has to be adjusted according to the sadhakas, also the devotees, because we cannot serve like the eternal associates. So therefore the deities are put to rest a little early, like 9:30, because then the the pujaris have to sleep. Of course, they will take prasad and then they will take rest. But we need 5-6 hours sleep. But in Golok, they're just sleeping 2-3 hours. Therefore, the pure devotees, they only sleep very little because they are realized. And then afterwards, the breakfast is there. And just like Krishna is taking the breakfast. And Rohini Ma and especially Radharani, she's cooking there in Nandagaon. So we meditate in this way and try to know what she's cooking, and then we cook the same things. But then the spiritual master will also give what we should cook on a regular basis. So because we have to have some standard. But in the spiritual realm, so much variety and so much more is offered. And there the sun and the moon are there. And the 6 seasons are there, and they are serving Krishna. And by Krishna's will, it is day and it is night. If Krishna wants, he can extend the day and the night, or he can make it shorter. And the 6 seasons are there. They're permanently there serving. And Krishna, in one day, he can go to the winter season, summer season, rainy season, as he likes. They're permanently there. And so there's even snowfall there in the spiritual realm. But it is not so cold as, for example, in Switzerland or Germany, so cold, in the Himalayas when it is snowing. There in Golok it is snowing, but it is not so cold. So the sun and moon are there always ready to serve, but there's no Rahu there. Or he may be there, but he's there as a devotee. And there's no eclipse, there's no contamination. And they only hear about demons, but actually they are no demon. There's one Keshi there, a horse, but he's not a demon. And they're riding on the horse. There are horses there also. And there are dogs also. Krishna has 2 pet dogs, Vyagra and Brahmaraka. But they are pure, Satchidananda Swarup. And even if they pass through, it is pure. But here everything is contaminated. So there is no impurity on the transcendental realm. So therefore the seva is always going on for the deities. It should never be stopped. That is our Siddhanta. And so therefore we follow that. Prabhupada told we should never stop the seva. But at the same time there are some other considerations by some other personalities, and they have explained that when one is contaminated, one should not do seva. So that even here in Vrindavan, some of the temples, they don't do seva during the eclipse, they're closing, even during the contamination period, and they don't do seva. So they quickly do they do all the seva before. Or they do after, like today after 11, they will clean, and then they do quickly Mangalati, quickly breakfast, and they will do quickly Rajbhog, like that. So they may have said, and maybe they are in some of the scriptures by some acharya, but not in our sampradaya, so they are following that. And we respect that, that is all right, but we have to follow our acharyas. And we should not think we are better than others. The acharyas, they are better than the others, but we are totally insignificant. And we should always respect all the other sampradayas, all the other acharyas, and even the brahmanas we should respect, although we may not agree, or we may not follow what they are doing, but we have to follow what the acharyas have said. So in many places in the West, they don't have much knowledge of the Vedic literatures, and there's eclipse, and even they're looking at the sun or the moon, which is actually not so good. But the seva is not stopped, and Prabhupada never told them to close, because Krishna is never contaminated and the seva is never stopped, because the devotees engage in the service, and they will chant Achman for purification before service, they will chant all different mantras for purification, and they will always chant Hare Krishna, so they are never contaminated. They are always pure. And but then we have to Lokavichar. What is Lokavichar? What is the thought of the local people? So that we have to also consider, according to time, place and circumstances. And Prabhupada himself, when he was there, he said, as the local temples are closing, we have to close also. But inside we should do the seva. And so we are following that. And so, but at the same time, some things which we should follow. For example, during the eclipse, we should not eat or drink, because actually it is not good for the health. that even our acharyas have told we should not eat during the eclipse, because it will not good be for the health. Even looking at the sun, even scientifically, they have proven that is not good for the eyes. If you look, that may damage the eyes. Although you may not notice, people, they don't know, and they look at the sun during the eclipse, they discover, they think, oh wow, wonderful, wonderful. But it will damage the eyes. So we have to be careful. And so some contamination is there, but we just have to keep on chanting, and then we are transcendental, but some contamination is there, so therefore we cover the prasad. Prasad is always pure, but we still cover it, because the rays are there, the atmosphere becomes contaminated to some extent. So we have to follow. And even during the contamination period, just before the eclipse, it is better not to eat and drink. So for the solar eclipse it is 12 hours before, that was last night, and for the lunar eclipse it is 9 hours. But at the same time, so it is mentioned, and we understand that the old people and women who are pregnant and children, for them it is very difficult to fast for a long time. So they may take something light, not during eclipse, nobody should take. During the eclipse, even the children, they should not be giving anything. But you know, if they're crying like 2 hours before the eclipse, they're hungry, then even the mother who is pregnant, she can eat something light. Some milk, some fruits, or some light vegetables. That may be done. But should be Krishna Prasad also, with tulsi there. And then there's no harm. And old people also, if they need to take, they can take something little. Children also, they cannot fast, they will be crying. They can be given something, but during the eclipse, better not. So then you have to let them cry. But better you feed them before, something little, and then they may be able, hopefully they can tolerate for a few hours. And the old people, they have to tolerate, although it is a bit difficult. Or the pregnant woman also, she has to eat before. So some precautions should be taken. And usually, so the pregnant woman should not go out during the eclipse, because that will not be good. So some precautions should be taken. But the brahmachari, sannyasi, they don't have to bother so much. They can go and chant Hare Krishna, but still better not to look at the sun. And then you can do parikrama of the temple of Govardhan, Vrindavan, no problem. If it is lunar, if the solar eclipse is in the summer, you can take a bath in the holy river, and like that. So that can be done. So some precautions are there, but during that time we should be fully engaged in chanting the holy names, and we should not engage in unnecessary activity. Of course, here the shops are closed, but in other places the shops are not closed. We should not do shopping. Better not to buy the fruits and vegetables that time. You wait to do everything after or before the eclipse. And no prajalpa, no unnecessary talk, no unnecessary taking, only auspicious thinking, speaking and serving should be there. So for the devotees it is a kind of blessing. Okay, now I can just chant, no management. And everybody is like in a humble state. Oh, I have to be careful. And they will be careful, they will not offend anybody, they will not try to speak bad against anybody, because the influence is there of the graha. I have to be careful. So it is a blessing in disguise. And therefore even Mahaprabhu appeared at that time to bless everyone. So everyone was humble, and everyone was then chanting the holy names. Because then during the eclipse, we have to be careful, otherwise the bad effect is there. So everyone then in the tradition, Vedic tradition, then they're chanting the holy names, they go to the holy river, take a bath, so I'm not affected. So it is a blessing in disguise. And we are happy, there's no management. We can chant. Otherwise this problem, that problem. This devotee did this to me, one pujari complaining about the other one, we have to deal with these things. No end to it. But now, Shanti, we can just chant, nobody will call me, only somebody will call me. Now what I have to do during the eclipse? I say, you just chant. You just chant and read. No eating, no drinking. Hare Krishna. Okay, no sound. It's time to stop. Okay, we'll stop. No more sound. No electricity or what? No electricity. Kya ho gaya? Hare Krishna? Okay. Somebody pulled the wire there. Okay, I guess it's time to stop. Unless one more question here. After the eclipse.
We should chant the Jenu also?
No, you don't have to chant the Jenu. It is a sacred thread. Sacred, what means sacred?
And many devotees in ashram, they change?
Yeah, many, because they may change because they have learned from tradition, you have to change, you have to take a bath, you have to wash your clothes. And many say, no, we cannot worship the deities. Even sometimes devotees. And when I first came also, but somehow by the mercy of the Lord and Prabhupada had some knowledge, no, we cannot do the worship. Some of our devotees, we have to close the temple, no worship. I said, no, this is not Prabhupada's instruction. They don't know. But the sacred thread is there. It is sacred thread. Sacred thread is no different from the Lord. What are you doing when you're chanting? You're chanting, what are you doing? You're chanting the Gayatri, which is not different. You're chanting the Gayatri, meditating on Guru, Gauranga and Krishna. So this thread, first of all, is offered to the Lord, and then we chant on that, and then we change, and we, so usually we take prasadam or we offer to the Lord, and when we put on. It is a sacred thread. It is also not contaminated. It is always pure, actually. Of course, it is said that during the eclipse, you go to the bathroom, you have to put around the ear, because the ear is always pure, the right ear. Why? Because the holy rivers are in the ear. If you do like this, you close, you can hear shh. Of course, you must have the knowledge and the faith and the understanding, because ultimately we are transcendental and we are pure spirit soul by nature, infinitesimal. And Krishna is there in our heart as Paramatma, Dashangulam, 10 fingers, that is Paramatma. Krishna is there. And if you are pure, you can see Krishna in the heart, you can see Mahaprabhu. So we have to go to the transcendental realm. That's why you chant the Gayatri, Om Bhurbhuva Swaha. We have to transcend the earthly plane, the heavenly plane, and the upper plane. And that refers to the body also, mind and intelligence, and come to the transcendental plane. Then you can see Mahaprabhu, you can see Krishna, you can see Yamuna, you can see Ganga. Ganga Chayamuna Chaiva, Gauravar Saraswati, Namrit Sinukare, Jalisim Sanidim Kuru. The advanced devotee, they can see these holy rivers. And therefore they put around the ear, and the ear is remaining pure. I mean, the thread is remaining pure while we go on to pass water. And but basically still, even if we don't put, but usually we have to put, that is the injunction, and because it may, if it is not around the ear, so we have to understand the things properly. If you don't put around the ear, it is low, and then when you pass water, some drop may come there and even contaminate the thread. So therefore we have to put it above the level of the waist, so it doesn't get contaminated, also when you pass stool or whatever. And therefore, usually the Brahman thread should be up to here. Sometimes it is a little longer, then we put it around the ear. That is the understanding. And similarly, for the pure devotee who are always engaged in devotional service, and the thread, so that is pure, and so we don't have to change. If you have the proper understanding and consciousness, you can simply go on, and then. And even actually, usually, traditionally, the Brahman thread is changed once a month, on Purnima Tithi, according to Vaishnava tradition. Somehow an Ekadashi it is introduced in our society, and no big problem. But traditionally on Purnima Tithi, you should shave. Therefore, Prabhupada said at least once a month you should shave. Of course, in the West, he wanted the people to give up the hippie mentality of beard and long hair, and so he wanted them to be clean-shaved. But according to Shastra, and according to the Acharyas, and Sanatana Goswami, the Brahmacharis and Sannyasis, they shave once a month. That is on Purnima Tithi. And when you shave, and then after shaving you have to change the Brahman thread. That's all. And then, so it is not necessary that you change when the eclipse is there, because you're chanting the holy names, and you're chanting the Gayatri Mantra, which is no different from Krishna. You're putting there, and the consciousness is there. So the thread is already offered to Krishna. It is Tadiya. It is even sometimes it is mentioned. Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwar is writing there. It is an expansion of Balaram, the thread, especially for the deities. As Balaram is there in the thread. So Balaram is always pure, is never contaminated. So if you have the deity's Brahman thread, you can keep it on, and when the Brahman thread is dirty, then you change the Brahman thread. But even usually sometimes they were burning, but the Brahman thread should not be burned. You don't burn anything spiritual. Like the deity's clothes, the books you should never burn. They are buried, or you put in a holy river. So therefore the Brahman thread should put in the holy river, or you put in the ground. You bury in the ground. It should not be burned like that. And sometimes they will say you have to cut the Brahman thread, but you don't have to cut. Because some say, you see people say different things, but we have to have the proper understanding by hearing from those who know, from those who are realized. So usually we don't have to cut. But some say, because if you have the Brahman thread you put in a holy river, somebody can take it and misuse the Brahman thread. But ultimately you're already giving up. You don't have to worry what other people are doing. You're protected. Even if somebody is cursing you, but if you remember Mahaprabhu, you'll be freed. You remember the past time when somebody wanted to curse Mahaprabhu. If you remember the past time, a curse cannot touch you. If you just remember Mahaprabhu, even you don't have to remember the past time, but even you remember Mahaprabhu, curse cannot touch you. Never. But of course something you may feel. If somebody is angry at you, you can feel it. Or somebody is angry to you, he punches you in the face, you will feel, but you're protected by Krishna or Mahaprabhu, and you don't have to worry. So similarly, you don't really have to change the Brahman thread, you go on. And after the eclipse, you just go on. We are with Krishna, we are Mahaprabhu. And the thread is transcendental thing. It's offered to Krishna. And the body is transcendental when you're always serving Krishna. The body is never contaminated of a pure devotee, therefore it's put in samadhi. It's never contaminated. But still after passing stool, even the pure devotee is taking bath, just to teach others. But even the Rishabh was passing stool, it was smelling like roses. The pure devotee is passing stool, it is pure. But still he will take bath because he has to teach others. Otherwise, hey, look, he's not taking bath, I should also not take bath. But the pure devotee is inside, outside is pure. Every particle of the pure devotee is pure. First of all, he's eating Krishna Prasad. Inside is pure of the pure devotee, and then what is coming out is also pure. But still, he is taking bath. But even the cow, we know, the urine of the cow is pure and the stool of the cow is pure. Even though the cow is not chanting Hare Krishna. But still it is pure. Some say only the mouth, the form of the mouth of the cow is not so pure. That we should see. Therefore, if you touch the cow is touching you, you have to clean your hand. But otherwise not. And you can drink cow urine. But still, But it doesn't mean the cow is more advanced than the pure devotee. The cow is respectable. Just like is a mother, one of the 7 mothers, because she is giving milk. But superior is the guru. And yes. But if he's not giving knowledge, he's only just like a cow. Therefore, Bhaktisiddhanta used to say, if one is thinking, I am guru, then he's not guru, he's guru. That is in Bengali, is cow. Cow is, so if one is doing some bhakti but is not realized and is becoming proud, I am a guru. Because guru always thinking I'm the servant of my guru. He doesn't think I'm guru. I'm the servant of the servant of the servant. And he's thinking, I've been giving this seva of helping others. So that is that the pure devotee is always pure. So we should try to follow the pure devotee, even if we are not fully pure now. But if you're following the pure devotee, you're considered pure. Prabhupada used to say, all my disciples are pure devotees. It is true, but there is a degree of purity. So if one is chanting 16 rounds, following the 4 regulative principles, it is pure. But even in the mind may not be pure, the consciousness may not be pure. So then he has to work on himself. And we can see there's a difference there. So, but a pure devotee means the one who is on the stage of chanting Shuddhanam, chanting the pure name, and then Krishna will be dancing on his tongue. You see Krishna in his heart is there. Krishna is in his ears. Krishna is in his consciousness of the pure devotee. So he's pure completely inside and outside. Everything is pure. Therefore even the cloth of the spiritual master, if it is old, the disciple will be coming there. They will take the cloth. If he has 1,000 disciples, they all come. Please give me a small piece. They will cut in 1,000 pieces and give to everyone. They will worship that. So what to speak of the Brahman thread? Everything is pure. He doesn't have to change the pure devotee. So we follow the pure devotee, although we may not be pure, but we follow the pure devotee. Okay? Is all right? Anything else? Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki.